Hey.
Hey. I love you.
I know. Wait. I can't.
Welcome to KORRACAST. We got a rabble-rousing episode for you guys. You're gonna want to watch this.
Are we using that tape?
Yes. Yes, we
No,
absolutely
we're not.
are. We are absolutely using
Please,
that.
no.
In case you missed it, check out our video, Yum Chunks Watches Beginnings Part 1 and 2. We sat down, we watched it, we put a camera on us, and you get to see what happened while we watched the episode.
That doesn't sound that exciting, but
It's
we'll
not,
try to make it exciting.
We'll try. We haven't edited it yet. It's not. But
You okay? What happened there?
Also, if you guys know of Avatar Legends, they have a podcast, and I'm going to be guest on it this week. I was on a couple weeks ago, so it's pretty much like this, but you don't get to see me, which is actually kind of better. So, but yeah, we talked about Avatar, so stay tuned for that.
yeah, they're cool. They're cool. We're cool.
Okay, guys, we got a lot to talk about. Let's dig in. Did you like the fact that, okay, the entire Avatar series, there's kind of a mystery behind what is the Avatar? Why is it born? We kind of have little bits and pieces. We now know pretty much the entire story. Did you like knowing the secret?
I feel like it didn't reveal every little tiny detail, but, you know, I felt as I was watching it going, oh, that explains this, and that explains this, and it adds meaning to Korra, but it also adds meaning to everything that we've known about the series.
Obviously, there's going to be further developments, but it's a valid question, I think. When they pretty much laid it all out for us. Like, it's imagine the architect scene from Matrix Reloaded in the middle of the first movie. The show isn't necessarily about the mystery, but there's not quite that element anymore.
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, it was just probably the best episode of Korra so far. I mean, it reminded me a lot of just the original Avatar series and why I loved it so much.
It really makes it feel like this is part of that lore.
But
you know?
it takes the series in a different direction from where it was going to go. Like, if you look at it, in the original Avatar series, Winter Solstice, parts 1 and 2, that's when Aang learned, okay, Sozin's Comet's coming, I gotta defeat the Fire Lord by this time, this is what's gonna happen.
Right.
So this episode, if this was like, you know, book 1 of Korra, I could say book 1 of Korra never happened, this is the start of the series. This is where Korra is going now.
Yeah.
We know where she's going.
Right,
we have a deadline. I mean, it feels a lot like Sozin's Comet in a way.
Right.
I'm more on the side that I like mysteries. I like kind of not knowing, which kind of seems kind of counterintuitive that you want to know what the mystery is. I like in the original series, kind of what you're saying, Vince, of being kind of given little pieces at a time. So we're kind of constructing a story as we're going along as it's necessary, rather than just kind of laying it all down at once.
But these answers, the existence of the Avatar, it ties directly into what's going on with Korra right now in the world. So it makes sense that we got them.
Let's talk. Okay, they basically just laid down a ton of lore for us.
Yeah, there's lots of pieces, lots of lores.
I mean,
I mean, little details like, oh, now we know why he reincarnates. Now we know why if you get killed in the Avatar state, you know, the Avatar ceases. It's because of Wanda.
Little
What?
Navi.
Navi. It's because
Yeah,
of Navi.
Navi.
It is inside the Avatar, and that makes sense, you know? Like, now we know why the cycle is what it is, because...
The order in which you gain the
Yeah,
elements.
so what do we think about all that?
Just visually, like, obviously the animation, we all noticed just a huge, just like, wow, this is blowing us away animation-wise. Even beyond that, though, is just the aesthetic art style of it. And it's real easy to overlook that and just think of it, oh, I really like that's a cool thing. But I think it was directly tied to the world. If it was real world, if Avatar 1, that's what his world actually looked like at that time. In relation to how the world looks like in Korra's time.
Yeah.
Because the spirit, if you went to the spirit world was even more that extreme. It was the spirit's influence on the world that made it look like that.
The whole thing felt more like a storybook fable, something like you would kind of open up like a children's book, and it kind of gave you that impression of just the way they told the story and kind of the way the world was structured.
And on that note of fables, Tale of Prometheus, you know?
Right, yeah.
The Tale of Pandora's Box.
Okay, so the resolution of what you were kind of saying about the spirits being tied into this world is that essentially they were exiled. Was that a good solution to the dilemma? Like,
It just kind of goes to show that they need to be separated for some reason. Like, there is no such thing as unity between humans and spirits other than the Avatar themselves being that person. There is no way for there to be unity between these two worlds.
For Korra to really become the hero that she should be, is that she has to do what the ones before her couldn't do. And so she's gonna, again, I think I mentioned a couple episodes, she's making atones for previous sins of her father, in this case, of her spiritual father, and Juan. She's going to actually, hopefully, ideally, bridge that gap. The series isn't going to end with her, okay, spirits are separated that. They're going to find a way to bridge the gap so spirits and humans can live together.
Right, and that's interesting that you bring that up too, because kind of going back to what you're saying about the Artec and the Matrix, there's obviously a cyclical action going here that they established in the second part of the Matrix series, right? This is kind of very similar to what's happening to Korra. Right? Yeah. And like they established that there's a 10,000 year cycle. And so now this is her coming upon that new, time.
Does the rest of how much is the rest of the world aware of this origin story? Like, because I feel like if they knew they're coming along to the point where evil bad guy spirit's coming back, like, wouldn't they be prepping her for this?
Yeah, no, and that's a good point. Cause
how does maybe Azula, by the way, I think that old woman...
Azula.
Yeah,
it's Azula.
Yeah.
But how does maybe Azula, how does hopefully Azula know about this tale?
I mean, we can kind of assume that Unalaq kind of knows it because he's been communicating with the spirits.
He's gone into
right. And one thing that we didn't mention in the last KORRACAST is that he was chilling in the spirit world. And he showed up, and his kids were like, "Dad, what are you doing in there?" It was a real quick scene, and we forgot to talk about it. But now he must know about the Ferngully tree.
Well, then this goes back to what and unfortunately, I think it undercuts what I was hoping his character was going to be, because I had always still believed, despite his means or his methods, that his intentions was still good.
Yeah.
But but now it seems like, okay, now we understand he's trying to revive Vaatu.
One of the things that I really liked was it showed the similarities between what's happened with Korra and Unalaq and what happened with Juan and Vaatu. How Juan freed Vaatu from Rava the same way that Korra, listened to Unalaq and opened up the spirit portal, thus unleashing all the dark spirits.
I feel like in this episode, they introduced the concept of spirits inhabiting humans for a reason. I mean, could we see Unalaq maybe being the human vessel for...
Essentially a dark avatar, right? You would be a dark avatar.
Right.
I see this season ending with Korra sealing the portals with her on the opposite side. He embodies the dark avatar. Ha ha ha. Well, too bad. I'm cutting the portals off. You don't have access to the spirit realm. So he's in the normal realm as the dark avatar. She's in the spirit realm as the spirit season Elver.
God, that would be so cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I am predicting that Vaatu and Rava, they're always, having a tug of war with each other over who's superior. They are going to be, by the end of the series, formed into one spirit that lives in the Avatar. Because they are the light and the dark, they have to live with each other. The Avatar has to learn how to keep that balance within themselves and within the world.
Good and bad, obviously, is the easiest way to paint it, and that's more or less probably 100% accurate as far as the show's concerned, but I don't necessarily see chaos as being evil.
Yeah, chaos is freedom. Because the thing they didn't say is white represents peace and control.
Exactly.
They never did say that.
And also, furthermore, if you think about harmony, what is harmony? They didn't have harmony in the world pre-Avatar. They were separated. They were divided completely. And to me, like, an Avatar is supposed to be harmonization.
Well, exactly. That's what Aang did. He's supposed to keep them separate. Oh, No, he brought them together. That's what I think.
Which is why
she's got to bring it together.
They are going to come together. That has to be it.
If this is where we're going, this is some heavy stuff. Yeah. This is some crazy stuff that we haven't seen in the series.
And I can't wait for it. Oh, the spirit bending.
Maybe that's one of the other elements. I'm actually thinking that.
Okay, but if you think about it, oh boy.
Okay, viewers.
Because it's light. It's light, so it's like
Kingdom Hearts is light. Yes.
There's good and bad.
Okay,
there's dark and light inside all of you. Maybe that is. I don't know. I don't know.
Vince doesn't know, but do you? Viewer response question this week: what is spirit bending? How does it fit in? Let us know.
Just Simply Silly wrote, "Why is everyone making such a big deal about this? Obviously something is going to happen later on where she gets her memory back and also gains some serious wisdom in the process. Everyone needs to just stop jumping to conclusions already." You Got Franked wrote, "Amnesia is a classic plot device for character development. I think Korra was written as unlikable this season on purpose so they can shape her character through the series into a much more likable person, and Amnesia is the starting point for this change." Nicholas Negawiki wrote, "My guess is that the sages, who have a great spiritual connection, will use spiritual remedy to help Korra remember who she is and what happens, and the creators will take us through that recounting with her, and that's where we'll learn about Juan."
Optimus! Okay, go. Nobody understands.
Sean has night terrors at summer camp. And also everywhere he goes to sleep.